Hi, this is Rachel with the Herbalist Garden. How are you today? I am back. I do not intend on taking as many breaks anymore, but the holidays were very busy for us. And happy busy, not bad busy. We had DJing, we visited family, went to Christmas parties. Super fun. I did have a little bout in there where I didn't feel well. Got over it. You know, those lovely herbs help a lot. We're going to talk about sage today. And I'm going to, down in the description, add 6 different links that you guys can double fact check me on, because these are when I do my. All right, so I know a lot of this stuff already, but to organize it, to be able to speak it out to you guys without going boom, 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 I organize it here on my screen beside me so that I can more comfortably relay the information to you guys in a set kind of order that might make sense in their topics, parts of the topics, aspects of each herb that people were interested in finding out about. That's how I kind of came up with this. But as I said, today we are going to talk about sage, Salvia officinalis. That is the word for common sage. There are 22 different varieties, and it is a fragrant member of the mint family that has long been used in traditional medicine and cooking worldwide. Its reputation as a nootropic, which is a drug that can improve motivation, memory, cognitive function, creativity, and multiple other things, has aroused interest in the scientific community and prompted a closer look at its possible advantages, modes of action, best dosages, adverse effects, and interactions with drugs. So as I said, it's in the mint family, and there's 22 different varieties. It is native to the Mediterranean region. It's used in many foods and seasonings. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Like poultry, pork, and in many different types of sausages. There are ornamental ones, but it's medicinal too, because it's got pretty leaves and pretty flowers when it actually blooms. So the Latin word salvare, which means to save, is the source of the plant's name, sage, indicating its historical association with healing and maintaining health. Has a strong flavor with a slightly lemony and camphor-like taste. When it's heated for cooking, it becomes more pronounced. If you use fresh, you can add it to soups, salads, marinades, breads, omelets, and stuffing. You can use it there. The flavor will be more pronounced if you dry your sage, or if you use just the dried stuff from the store, or if you get it from your garden and then dry it. Because of its strong flavor, sage holds well to fatty and rich foods. And that's why people use it in meat pies and sausages. So say identification of the plant. People ask and like to know how to identify it. I will put pictures of it up at the beginning and at the end. I have not figured out how to do picture-in-picture yet. Sage is a perennial plant that grows to about 2 feet tall, 60 centimeters. It's got oval leaves, and they're rougher, wrinkled, and usually downy, like they're really soft. Rough and soft. Rough and downy. That sounds. I have sage in my yard. I have the officinalis in my yard, and I don't feel like it's rough. I like it. It's really soft. It's nice. Velvety, maybe is a better word for it. The color ranges from gray green to whitish green, and some varieties are variegated. Got the little stripes in. The flowers are borne in spikes and feature tubular, two-lipped corollas that attract various pollinators, including bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds. The flowers can be in purple, pink, white, and red, and they produce a nutlet fruit. It's not something we usually would eat. Um, I don't think I've ever seen it do that. But the benefits: it helps with cognitive enhancement. I probably should be taking it more often. It has the neuroprotective effects, mood enhancement, antioxidant, anti inflammatory. It supports women's health. So the volatile oils, which means are like the active compounds that are in sage, are called thujone and cineol, and they contribute to its antimicrobial and antiseptic properties. There are other compounds to sage. There are flavonoids, which are antioxidants. There's phenolic acids, which are another part of the antioxidants, and they're also anti-inflammatory. And there's the terpenoids, which usually help with like the neuroprotective effects of it and play a role in cognitive function. So it blocks there's a big word here on how to say the shorter version of it, which is the acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is the stuff in the enzyme that basically blocks cognitive function. And this breaks that down. That helps with our learning and memory processes. It's largely responsible for its cognitive enhancing effects. Sage significantly increases the availability of acetylcholine in the synaptic cleft by blocking this enzyme, which improves neural transmission and cognitive processes like memory, attention, and alertness. Go look at the links. That made sense the first time I read it, but not so much this time. So it also can alleviate diarrhea, which is a huge help to some people. And like it helps, it supports women's health. So it'll combat skin aging. It also reduces blood sugar. In human and animal research indicates that it helps lowering blood sugar levels. There was one where they did a study on rats for type 1 diabetes, and it activated a specific receptor that helped clear excess free fatty acids in the blood, which helps with insulin sensitivity. Then there was one with mice for type 2 diabetes, and they used sage tea. Oh, the other one, I'm sorry. The first one was done with a sage extract for the type 1 and sage tea for the type 2 with the mice. And as the sage tea with the mice for the sage tea, I said that. It basically acted like metformin does in the body. I don't know a ton about pharmaceuticals. I feel like there's a class action lawsuit against metformin right now, but I don't really remember because I don't pay attention to pharmaceuticals because I don't like them. They have other nasty side effects. So in another animal study, sage leaf extract has been shown to lower blood sugar and improve insulin sensitivity in mice as a similar effect to other anti-diabetes drugs. I'm not going to pronounce that word. It's just another anti-diabetes drug, diabetes drug. Um, so basically, it has shown to lower your HbA1c. It also lowers bad cholesterol. The LDL cholesterol is the bad cholesterol. We're not going to get into the cholesterol talk right now. I don't think people, the, the research that tells doctors to tell you that having high cholesterol is bad, I'm just going to say it's not true. Okay. Um, bad cholesterol, maybe, yes. Um, but it's new information that we're finding out from old information that apparently they just knew this for years. And then, well, money talks, and pharmaceutical companies pay those people a lot of money to tell you to spend a lot of money on them. But we're not going to get into that right now. I have a lot of opinions. Anyway, so bad cholesterol does cause more problems than the HDL cholesterol. But anyways, sage will lower those levels, so that's helpful. Sage extract is what they recommend for it. In 1 tablespoon of sage, it has 2 calories. It has protein, carbs, fat. It's only 0.3 grams. You're safe. It has fiber. Vitamin K is the largest portion of what's in 1 teaspoon of sage. It has iron, vitamin B6, calcium, and manganese. So remember we talked about that compound thujone and the cineol, the volatile oils? Well, thujone is the one that you have to look out for. It says that if you had 600 milligrams or more, I would say 600 milligrams probably once or in 1 day. I wouldn't recommend that, honestly. That's when it becomes toxic to your body, the thujone, because it can cause things like seizures or liver damage. But that's 600 milligrams. I don't think you're going to have that much. So because sage comes in several forms, it can be used in a variety of ways. It can be used for aromatherapy. It can be used to cook with, ingredient in food. There's a lot of things you can do with this plant. People put it in their mashed potatoes. Some people put it in their butter. Some people put it in their poultry. You can use it to rub on meats, roasting and vegetables. You can have teas, extracts, supplements. But to be on the safe side, don't have more than 600 milligrams in a day, even if you have to count it. They say limit your tea consumption, sage tea consumption, to 3 to 6 cups a day. That's 6 is a lot. I would stick with a 3. If you're really concerned about the thujone interactions, guess what? There's one that doesn't have it. It is Spanish sage, Spanish lavandula folia, salvia lavandula folia, salvia lavandula folia. There, I got it. That does not contain the thujone. I'm going to talk about storage and how to basically handle fresh sage and dried sage, and so on and so forth. So, storage techniques for sage. Especially if you're going to plant it, grow it, harvest it, and then dry it or freeze it or whatever yourself. Prepare it for long-term storage. It stores in the fridge just fine. Fresh sage can last in the refrigerator for up to a week if stored correctly. And correct storage is taking the leaves off the stems, and you wrap them in a damp paper towel, and then stick it in a plastic bag, a resealable plastic bag. That can last up to a week. Another option is to place the leaves in a jar or a similar container or something and cover them with oil. Basically, you're making sage oil. This method can keep your sage usable for up to 3 weeks. You can use any type of cooking oil, but olive oil works best. You can air dry it if you want to dry your sage. That is my specific suggestion. You don't really need any specific equipment. Just keep it out of the sunlight. Bundle the stems together. Put it in a paper bag. Poke holes in the paper bag, and just leave it there so the air can pass through the bag. You won't get any dust on it. And it should take about 2 weeks to dry, depending on how humid it is where you live or where you set it. If you don't want to wait 2 weeks, then you can dry it in the oven. Put your either your pilot light on if you have gas stove, or you can set your oven to 180 degrees and put it on a parchment paper lined cookie sheet in the oven. Open the door slightly so it doesn't get too hot and allows excess moisture to escape. And that takes about 2 hours. A dehydrator could work, and it takes about a day on the lowest setting. So if you can't change your temperature on your dehydrator, I wouldn't bother. You can crumble it once it's dry, and it'll be like the stuff you buy in the shaker bottles at the store. You can also freeze sage. You can freeze sage. You take your ice cube tray and you pour in the oil of choice, recommended for olive oil, and then add your dried or fresh, I guess. It's not going to hurt anything if it's fresh at that point. Add it to the oils, stick it in your ice cube tray, and then afterwards you can break them out, put them in a Ziploc, and then, or whatever your vessel is that you prefer. Stick it in the freezer, and it's pretty much frozen sage. They tell you is good for a year. I've had it last longer than that personally. I don't really like expiration date standards. On some things, absolutely, 100%. But I've found that most things don't go bad. There's also sage vinegar you could make a concoction with. Vinegar, you could make it, you could do the oils for 6 to 8 weeks in a dark, cool place. And then as long as you strain that out, it's pretty much going to last for quite some time. So we talked about where sage came from, the name of common sage. We talked about Spanish sage briefly. We talked about all its benefits. We talked about its history. We talked about its nutrition factors and its compounds that it has in it, all the benefits. We talked about dosage and storage. And I believe that is all the information that I can give you about sage at this moment. We could do a massive deep dive. We really could. But guess what? That would require a longer video. And right now, I have to get back to work. So, hey, why don't you come over and join me over on and have a big old conversation about this over on the Herbalist Garden on Facebook. We're building a very awesome community and would love you to join us. You're also welcome to interact here. Let me know down below how you like the video, if you have any more questions, or if you have any more information to add. That would be fine too. I like learning new things myself. And if you can give me information that I've never learned before, thumbs up. I love it. But like and subscribe, please, because that really helps me out and it keeps me encouraged to continue to do this. I hope you found it valuable and beneficial. Have an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll see you around. I'll be on here next week. Take care.